Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here.
Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel, Jane Lorenzo.
Wait, what did you say?
Jane Lorenzo.
Have a good one.
You guys better subscribe and watch my friend on his YouTube channel. He is kicking ass.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of Van Helsing on Syfy, which is Season 3, Episode 3, called I Alive. So yeah, back with Van Helsing here, and it's been a very busy week for me. Just a lot of just feeling very kind of cramped at work and everything, and trying to watch shows in my free time, trying to keep up with my weekly shows. It's kind of taking a toll on me again, sort of like it did last year. A tad overwhelmed, but I'm still hanging on, and do not worry about these videos because Van Helsing, as always, is very much a priority for me, and I do not plan on slowing down with that anytime soon. It will always be out by the next day. I can guarantee that as much as I humanly can. Yeah, so overall, this episode, I Alive, if you guys watched my review of last week's episode, that was one of my favorite episodes, probably of the whole show. It's really like just the great horror atmosphere to it, the new vamps and everything like that, the scenes with Vanessa and Scarlet. But this one was a pretty special episode in its own right. I'd say, in ways, probably the most unique episode of the series so far. Of course, because we see Vanessa go back to 1896 in Hong Kong as her ancestor Lillian, who we find out is actually exactly the granddaughter of Abraham Van Helsing. So I wonder if we're going to actually see Abraham Van Helsing in any way, maybe once this Dark One actually comes out and he's sort of the show's version of Dracula, I could see them bringing that in somehow. But yeah, anyway, this is just a really unique episode, of course, because Vanessa going back in time, or at least living through like a memory of a specific event and everything like that. And I just really enjoyed the sets. I know they filmed on location in Canada partially, but they also developed greater parts of it themselves, so it looked really good for the most part. I really dug it. Also, I really enjoyed it because it played as like a Vanessa solo episode, which I do not mind at all, because she is the lead of the show and also my favorite character. So I really enjoyed that, because at first I was fearing, oh no, they're gonna go away from Vanessa and focus completely on other people, but now they followed it up with this, so I really liked that. Looks like next week, though, they're going to be focusing on one of the sisters, as well as Scab and Muhammad, and of course Sam Christopher Heyerdahl, which is fine. That should make for a pretty different perspective type of episode. But these Vanessa-centric ones, they're my jam. And I just sounded cheesy as hell saying that, but and there was some comedy sprinkled into this episode as well. This is definitely lighter than last week's episode, although it still had its seriousness and of course weight of what she's trying to figure out here. But we sort of have Vanessa, or Kelly Overton, getting to play that sort of fish out of water type of scenario with Vanessa here. Her sort of still talking in her modern way, making these Yoda references and everything like that, and cursing sort of in different ways that the people there don't recognize. I also especially found her dynamic with Lillian's servant girl, or whatever you want to call her, kind of cute and funny as well, and how she kept on wanting to help out and how thrown off she was by how Lillian was behaving. Are you sure you don't? Is it you really don't remember me, Miss Lillian? I don't know. I can't do the accent, but yeah, I just really enjoyed this episode. And of course, she went back to do this to find out of the Ba, one of the elders. She will face his, or who we found out is actually her, weaknesses. Sort of just seeing what she can get out of this chain of events around this time. And I also enjoyed her dynamic with the sensei here. That was fun. Especially their training sessions and everything like that. And something else pretty significant we got at the end of this episode. The death of the elder, who has been under Scarlet and Vanessa's thumb, pretty much since towards the end of season 2. And I was a little bit surprised by that. I thought he was going to be sort of brought forth at least until like maybe the finale of the season, or maybe like the last few episodes or something. But Vanessa kills him here, releases him, as she said. I felt a little bit odd that Vanessa was suddenly starting to completely trust him, since he was just bound to it. It's not really his choice to do any of this good. So that made sense that Vanessa killed him there, and again, Vanessa's eyes flaring up red after she did it, probably showing why she is able to sort of outmaneuver the elder there, or sort of move quicker than he was ready for. Although I wish he would have turned back into his regular form when he was killed, though, but because I'm sure it wasn't very fun for Vanessa to see like an image of Susan's body drop to the ground again, but still it was an interesting dynamic to have the elder around for sure. And also the Ba, I like the presence of her so far. I'm glad that wasn't somehow wrapped up in this one episode. I feel like this could go at least until the mid-season, maybe lead in, towards the final couple, who knows. And, these vampires are, really well trained and more powerful and stuff like that, made for some very different, type of fight scenes, so I really like the choreography in this as well. The sensei being killed, I did kind of see coming. But still, it made for, a couple of really good sequences, like I said. And just sort of Vanessa coming to and sort of being even more sure of herself now. And Sensei did really teach her sort of to at least tried to contain her anger, not just to lash out, because that can make her sloppier, and she can't really afford that when she goes face to face with the Ba, or who's ever stronger than the Ba, who I'm sure we'll meet later, like the Dark One or maybe some of the other elders. But she's definitely going to need to rely on more than, just sort of like her raw rage and power. Which does serve her well in certain scenarios, but she kind of has to channel it, too. So I like how that was developed as well. So yeah, it was a really good episode again. Maybe I didn't like it quite as much as last week's, but last week's episode is probably like one of my favorite episodes of the whole show. But this one's still very, very good, and I still think this season already is shaping up to be possibly the series' best yet. So I'm overall giving this episode about a 9, probably about a 9.2 out of 10 actually. I really, really liked it. So yeah, let me guys thought about I Alive. What are your predictions for the rest of the season and this Ba Elder? Did you like the time period sort of Vanessa solo episode like I did? I'm sure you did. If you're a fan of the show, then you better. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.